Okay, let's start with an easy one. Let's say 62 divided by 167.
Neuroscientist Thorsten Fehr of Bremen University specializes in studying people with gargantuan powers of memory. Mathematics genius Rüdiger Gamm is his most spectacular case so far.
1-9-8-2-4-6-3-5-8-9-6-1-4-4-3-1-8-9-8-2-4-6-3-1-7-8-9-9-9-9-9-4. To the 30 places shown on the calculator precisely.
The human brain is the most mysterious piece of matter on Earth. It was just as effective in the Middle Ages as it is on the internet. It's been used to invent symphonies and to devise violent crimes. Yet it's only now, in the 21st century, with high-tech computers, that scientists have begun to watch the brain while it's actually thinking. Their most important discovery is that it's almost a miracle that this peculiar thing in our heads works at all. But certain miracles are only noticeable when something goes wrong, as it has for a group of people of less than 100 in number worldwide who display astonishing, almost supernatural abilities. Despite their mental disabilities, they are capable of things for which science is only now beginning to find an answer. Scientists call these people savants, the knowing ones, and more than half of these mysterious people are autistic. Experts all over the world are now working on the question, is there a hidden genius within all of us? Hollywood star Dustin Hoffman won an Oscar for his portrayal of a savant in the film Rain Man. He dedicated his Oscar to the real Rain Man, Kim Peek, who inspired the movie, thereby honoring both Kim and all other savants, the guiding lights of our journey into this world of beautiful minds.
When he was about 4 and a half, he had memorized the first 8 volumes of a set of encyclopedias, which happened to be the index volumes.
After just one helicopter flight, Stephen Wiltshire can draw the entire aerial perspective of cities. But he didn't speak his first words, pen and paper, until he was 5.
He's able to absorb like a video recorder, just record what he needs, rewinds back to what he wants, plays, and it just comes out on paper.
As a child, Matt Savage couldn't stand bodily contact. Sounds drove him crazy. At 6, he learned to play the piano. Overnight. He's been composing jazz since he was 7.
He says to us that the music is already in him. He just understands these things that normally people have to learn. He reads it, he absorbs it, and it's his.
2/3 of all livestock handling facilities in the USA are designed by Dr. Temple Grandin. She's autistic and understands cows blindly, but to her, our human language is entirely foreign.
If you got rid of all the genetics that makes autism, you wouldn't have Einstein. A little bit of the trait might give you a brilliant scientist, but too much of the trait and you get a non-verbal, very handicapped person, that's going to have to live in a supervised living situation.
With normal cognition, we don't call them savants, we call them geniuses, right? Or very talented, very gifted people. So by definition, savantism implied this kind of a juxtaposition of special skills and cognitive deficit.
Until we can understand the savant, we can't understand ourselves. And no model of brain function is going to be complete until it can fully account for this incredible disparity.
Dr. Darrell Trefford holds an award as one of the USA's 100 best doctors. He's been collecting information on the knowing ones since 1962. Today, Trefford Drive is the name of the street where the American psychiatrist met his first savant, a young patient who knew the entire bus timetable of Milwaukee as accurately as a computer would, after reading it only once. Since then, Darrell has tracked down some 100 similar isolated and enigmatic instances all over the world. 100 people who can perform gigantic feats of memory, but in whose heads something has also gone awry. All of them show almost extraterrestrial talents for mathematics, arts and music, or obscure knowledge. Why? This has become a lifelong quest for Darrell. Neurologists are now trying to solve the same enigma. Which secret compartment in the human brain does the savant alone have access to?
When I first started looking at savant syndrome some years ago, I began to wonder about the potential within all of us in terms of if someone with a severe disability can have that much ability, what might that say about the potential within us all?
If we could simulate that with normal people, we could, if you like, turn off the brain of normal people to turn on these unusual skills.
The human brain combines the appearance of a large walnut with the consistency of a soft-boiled egg. Yet nothing in the entire universe is as complicated as this slippery lump of more than 100,000 million neurons. The secret of thought has occupied human brains for centuries. In anatomy collections around the world, elite brains have been held in storage, in the hope of someday finding out exactly what it is that makes people geniuses. Things advanced in the early 19th century when the German doctor Franz Josef Gall came up with a bold theory. He was the first to ascribe particular characteristics and intellectual abilities to exactly defined regions of the brain. However, Gall's brain maps were as erroneous and nonsensical as the sea charts before Christopher Columbus. Only the revolutionary technology of the last few years has made it possible to measure the brain with millimetric precision and to trace in detail the extraordinary gifts of people like Rüdiger Gumm.
Okay, let's do a few exponents. Let's say 67 to the power of 33.
Eine Dezillion. 821 Nonilliarden, 664 Nonillionen. 894 Oktilliarden, 730 Oktillionen. 78 Septilliarden, 753 Septillionen. 748 Sextilliarden, 347 Sextillionen. 739 Quintilliarden, 907 Quintillionen. 973 Quadrilliarden, 449 Quadrillionen, 122 Trilliarden, 612 Trillionen, 636 Billiarden, 443 Billionen, 46 Milliarden, 968 Millionen, 910.787.
Right up to the last place, precisely.
Ich weiß nicht mehr genau, wie alt ich war.
I don't know anymore how old I was, maybe 2 or 3, when I learned by heart that Mount Everest was 29,017 feet, or that Columbus discovered America in 1492. Over the years I moved on from learning historical dates by heart to endless facts about manned spaceflight. Everything about history, geography or space travel interested me. Since I was a child I had a numerical grid in my head where I can fill in what I had learned.
Und da habe ich mir als Kind schon ein Zahlenraster aufgebaut, wo ich dann meine späteren Fähigkeiten habe wirklich reinlegen können.
Scoring consistently below the pass mark at secondary school, Rüdiger Gumm did not give any hints of his superhuman mathematical abilities. Only when he was 20 did he realize, by chance, that he had what it took to be a mathematical genius. While listening to a mental arithmetic champion on the radio, Gumm played along and outdid the champion. Gumm began to train his talent. Today, he masters all two-figure numbers to the power of 50, 8-figure trigonometric functions, and pi to 5,000 decimal points. Gumm earns his money as a mind coach, advising National League teams and top managers on how to improve their memory and concentration.